What is going on, everybody? Today we've got the Audi S4 B9 back with some more Canadian auto performance stuff going on it. Thanks to them, like the shirt I'm wearing, we actually got all of this stuff sent to us, and I'm gonna show you guys how to install it. So my favorite part of this is gonna be the RS style grille, because this first grille that we get with the OEM is just not as good looking as the RS grille. We do also have some other carbon fiber pieces going on, which you guys will see. So this is everything that we've got going on. We've got the fog inserts, the RS grille, and then these carbon fiber canards to pretty much go just around the outside of those grills. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is go ahead and remove this. So we have to pop this off.
There's a clip. There's a clip on this back side. In order to get that off, you just got to use a pick. Pop it, pop. And you should keep going.
Oh yeah, there's like a little thing that kind of pulls out of it.
And then it pops straight up.
Perfect.
So all it is, yeah, it just clicks in there. Then obviously once you get it, you just make sure it's straight when you put it back on. That's it.
Yep.
Because then that allows us
and this just kind of lifts off.
It just pops right out.
Yep.
Allows you to get everything here.
Yeah, we're gonna want to get to all of these, which will show you guys exactly what you need to take off in the order of, the best order of the way to take it off. So starting out, we're gonna have these star bits, starting out with a T30. Yeah. We're gonna use a drill to remove them, but you can use a ratchet or a screwdriver, whatever you have that has that T30 bit.
And this should free up, okay, so that frees up that. What I like to do, I like to leave one of these in here, so when you are popping the corners, this whole thing doesn't just fall on you. Just hand tight, just enough to, so when it doesn't just fall off on you. That's what I like to do, take it all off, and then once you get your corners and your bottom off. So we've got the jack going on here. If you guys don't know where the jacking points are, it's basically right at the edge of the store. You'll be able to see it once you get up underneath it. It's pretty self-explanatory. And no, you don't need this crazy Daytona metallic jack to jack up the car, but it's cool. So yeah, they just jack it up. You don't have to do the whole, you have to have the whole thing up in the air. You can jack up this, just gives you more hand room to pop this side off, and then get the clips down at the bottom. There should be a couple of Torx bits and stuff like that, but it's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy.
Yeah, so the bolts that he's talking about back in here are going to be, it actually looks like they're star bolts, sometimes they're 10 millimeter, but let me get a flashlight to show you guys. So all these bolts that are holding the fender liner to the bumper here, as you can see, you're going to want to pop those off, because we are taking the bumper off.
All right, so these Torx bits down here do drop down to a 25. You don't have to do all of them. It's more just this, just to get this liner back, so you can get the bolts that hold up in here.
Yep. There's
normally like one or two up under here, but until you can pry it out. Now you can see this is already loose. You can see it's off of the wheel liner. This is where you just kind of pry this back, and then you'll be able to see.
Yeah, so this bumper has been off before, multiple times actually, so you might not have the same exact thing that we have here, but this is kind of what's going on with ours. I don't know what's stock here. Like I said, I know for a fact this bumper's been off at least 3 times.
So you can always get a little tug. It's always looking like this and this clip. That's interesting, but all right, that might get us enough to at least get, okay, get some pliers on underneath it where you're not marring it up. Try to get that to pull. There we go. Okay, well the whole clip came out at the same time, but that was shoved in there. I don't think that's stock, but this bumper's been off a couple times, so we don't know what's been off and what hasn't been. But yeah, so this is gonna be pretty quick. So while we have this side of the car jacked up and this all pulled out, there are gonna be some bolts up underneath that you're gonna wanna take out. I'm gonna check those right now. I would assume that it's either clips or 10 millimeter, but I'll confirm that with you in a second. There's gonna be these white tabs here. They're T27s? No, T25s, sorry. There's gonna be T25s here. I don't believe, yeah, it looks like it's just these hooking up all the way across the front. You can get to most of them with this one side jacked up, and then obviously when you go to do the other side to take the wheel liner off, you can get to like the last couple. It's not, this car's not super low.
No, so it's just all the ones with the white tabs. Yeah, this is not as bad as other front bumpers, so this is pretty lucky.
There is these little half tabs that are like kind of under there. Just give it a little pull, it'll pop out. They'll pop out like that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be something there, but on this car there's not.
Nice. Also, there is one more T30 screw way deep in.
Pretty much on this corner.
Yeah, so it might be hard to get on camera.
What's that black one up there? All the way up in here.
Yeah, I can't even get the camera in there actually. But there's a T30 screw right there that you're gonna need to take out. Oh, he's on it right now. So don't forget to take that out. It's a T30. And then you'll be able to pull this clip off. So if you look right there, you can see where that bolt was kind of just sitting just to hold this in.
So essentially it's like this. You have to
Yep.
run a decent amount of extension on it.
Yeah. But if you're trying to pull it off without removing it, that's why we kind of looked over it, but we figured it out. there is that T30 there. All right, so there's a few things that you're gonna have to basically pull out before you actually rip this bumper off. Actually, starting with the front camera, if you do have the front camera at least, which is gonna be down underneath here.
Yeah, so there's just a tab on the bottom. It's kind of hard, it does stick a little bit, but there's that tab there, you just pinch it.
Yeah, so a couple connectors for your parking sensors, one being right here, that you'll just pull this little tab
Sometimes
out
you gotta get a pick, or
Yeah.
you can get it sometimes and you pop it down, and then that's
Boom.
good.
Yep.
These should pull off. That's in. Okay, there you go. So that one just pops off. Some of them you end up fighting with. They got metal tabs inside, so you have to pry them. So this corner, there's a clip here. There's just a connector that goes there, and then there's a clip down here.
Yeah, that one just kind of pulls off.
Yeah, they all kind of pull off. They grab onto these. Sometimes they're easy, like this one. Super easy. Some of them, you end up fighting them. They're kind of a...
Yeah, you might cut yourself open on one.
How do you know that? No. Just pop this, and then you just push down, pinch it, pops
Boom.
right out.
Yep.
These ones with the zip ties, honestly, are kind of a pain. This one seems like it's working off a little bit. Sometimes they don't really want to come off, like this one. It's like half coming off, and then it can be kind of a pain with one person, like just prying on it.
Yep.
See, it just
There
popped
you go.
up.
Yep.
They all have the same style where they just have teeth and they're kind of aggressive. So
Definitely, if you can get some help for taking these clips out, it would help a lot. So
yeah, they're not terrible. You
no,
can
he's able to do it himself, but with some help, it would be way easier.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's just a lot of rocking, and then you just gotta watch your tension on stuff.
Yep. So basically, just follow that down. You can start at that side and just work your way all the way down to over here where there is another clip up here, or another connector up here.
The weird thing is, I don't know if this is technically how they have it looped around. This has been off and been an accident. So it's, I think stuff's a little wonky on your harness. Might be different a little bit, but it's for the most part about the same, other than placement.
Yeah, so just pull this off to release some tension. It'll help with getting the rest of these.
Yeah, so you technically
easier.
don't, like this is just free. So this is attached to the car. So everything that was attached to the car, I'm able to pull off.
Yep.
Make sure the connector's not caught on a on
Yeah.
the bumper. And then this.
And then you're all good. Boom. Just like that. Bumper comes off. So now that we have the bumper off, if you do have a way to get it on a table or some stands, definitely do that. It'll make your job way easier. We're gonna go ahead and look at what we need to take off just from first glance. It's looking like we got T25s. So there's gonna be some T25s all along this grill. There's gonna be one here, one here, one here. Pretty much just follow them down through the whole grill, remove them, and then there will be some more clips that we're gonna show you guys how to take off as well. All right, so now that we have all of those off, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the clips.
Yeah, so there's actually, it's not these chrome ones, it's actually this one, and then there's some down. The lower will have, oh, where's this lower one? Oh, okay, so you do have to pull the lower off because the lower overlaps the upper. You can see that right there.
Okay, yeah.
So we will have to pull all these tabs, which will get this lower off, and then we can pop it out. Thankfully it's just clips, so we'll start working at those.
So these clips are super easy once you get used to doing them. Basically, you're just gonna push them one way with a screwdriver or a pick, depending on what you have, and they will just...
They're kind of counterproductive because you have a tab holding the tab.
Yeah.
And this tab's super stout, so it's like when you pry on it, all it does is just go down, which then just digs it in more. Not ideal. Sometimes you can try to get between it, you just gotta be careful. And then try to pop it. They're not fun, to say the least.
Yeah, because you need these intact, so don't break them.
Yeah. So once you get that pop, you'll see that tab come down, it pops out.
Yep. Oh, perfect. Okay.
These upper ones seem like they're just popping right out once I get the ones out.
Yeah, they're just coming with it. So if you need to, if you're the only one working, just to make it easier, if you have a screwdriver or a pry tool, just kind of stick it in so that you don't have to keep constant pressure yourself, and that'll help you basically get to all the next tabs and pull them out. So then once you get all those, you can basically just pull that lower one out, and now you'll have access to the grill that we actually want to get out.
Actually, this will pop pretty quick.
Yeah, oh yeah, wow.
And then the biggest thing is up here. There's a tab there, it pops right out, and there's a slot, so.
Yep. This may be a little bit harder for you guys because I know that this grill has been out at least 3 times, so but they were pretty easy for us.
There's another tab. There's a little hidden one right here on that corner, so just be careful because it is a corner.
So yeah, these top 2 clips are not going to be easy. I had to help kind of hold everything steady They are really held on. Again, it might not be like that for you, but since our grill has been out at least 3 times, it was kind of a pain. But I mean, as you can tell, these things are kind of holding on for dear life. So try to keep those preserved if you can. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do if you have the front camera like me is go ahead and take that out. It looks like it's gonna be 4 Torx bits right here. Oh yeah, and sensors. So grab these sensors too for your parking sensors. I think everyone has those. And then your parking or your front camera will be right here.
They have a little bracket here. We'll see which one fits. We might be able to use those old ones, that bracket on that. Yep. So we'll have this bracket.
So make sure that when you do pull that camera out, it was just those 4 Torx bolts. What you're gonna wanna do is make sure that you know the orientation of the camera, because you don't want it to be upside down when you go to park, and then you're basically parking upside down.
Sensors out, which these sensors are pretty simple. They're just tabs on the side.
Yeah, so just tabs here for the parking sensors.
I'll be able to just pop them out.
Simple as that.
Well, that's one way to do it. Yeah, normally they have a housing. You can just pull the tabs and they pop them out.
Gotcha.
Like this. I can get it. Yes. That's what I was planning on doing, but they just popped off the bumpers, so the grill. So
either way. Then if you want to get your S4 badge off of there and put it on the RS, it's going to be this little tab right here.
Okay.
There you go.
And then that pops.
Yep.
There's just that tab, and then there's just a little hook there.
Pretty simple. Honestly, those clips are not bad. So for us, we are removing the bracket that came on the cat bumper just because the orientation is flipped for us. I don't know if it'll be like that for you guys. Like I said, some of this stuff might be different for you. That's what we're doing though. So the actual best way to do this is if you drop the camera in first, and then kind of put on that backing plate.
Because you end up fighting, you end up trying to get it aligned, and it just seems like you're juggling with a lot.
Drop it down in, and then put the kind of alignment plate on, so we'll put it right back in. So this is what Cap is going to send you. This is what it's going to look like, which is the opposite of what we have. Again, it might be the same exact of what you guys have, but for us, it was opposite. So when we get the stock one out.
Yeah, so I had the stock one. All I did, because I didn't want to flip because the orientation is different. I didn't want to risk flipping it and then the whole thing just be upside down and we have to take the entire bumper apart to do it again. So what I did, I just took these 2 tabs off, and then when you go to set it up here, it fits in pretty good. This is kind of loose, so you can drop it in, and then you can see it fits in there pretty well.
Yeah.
You will have to leave it loose when you go to put the. We test fitted it. When you go to put the bumper back on, leave this a little loose. Put the connector on, and then snug it up, and it lines it up like perfect once the connector's on it. I just leave it loose so that obviously your cap isn't falling off.
Yeah.
And your camera isn't flopping around.
Right. So again, this might be a little different for you guys. This is what we had to do. So I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's going to need to do something similar to this, but if not, the cap one probably works just fine. So then these parking sensors are super easy. It looks like they fit great into this cap one. So basically you're just going to align it and push it down in. I can't do it with one hand, but that's what you're going to do.
It's kind of tight. So then once that other one gets on there, you have to kind of support it, but yeah.
So basically same thing that we did when we took it off. Start from the top though and work your way down, and everything will kind of clip in, and then you're going to want to put this.
There's an alignment. There's 2 alignment pins right here and then here. So you can always start it up top.
Yep. So now we've got pretty much everything bolted up. Let's go ahead, change out these fog bezels. If you want to get your S4 badge on, I'll show you guys how we did it. So we just got one of these, like, I don't know, kind of push style clips, I guess.
They're like this down here. They're just the metal version. Like, that's obviously encased in metal, but it's one of like the tab barb clip kind of things. They're just barbs on the inside, and you can just slide it over.
Yeah, so you slide it over that, and then it really holds it nicely against this. Obviously, Cap knew what they were doing with the way they styled these holes, so that's perfect.
So these are pretty simple. These just push in, and you just work around.
Oh, that's way easier than anything else.
Yeah, these are probably the easiest part, honestly. Get there. There's one in here, but you might be able to get it. There is these tabs though, so it will swing. It'll swing out this way, and then it'll hook into here. So you have to get this end out first. So once you get that end out, see how it pops out. You just have to rock it forward, and it comes out.
Perfect. That was. I mean, that took 10 seconds. Yeah.
Super easy.
So if you get this grill and you're worried about spending more time on these, just get the upgraded gloss ones, because honestly, these look insane.
I love the little matte black right in the middle.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we'll also get a comparison of that on the right side versus the stock one, so perfect.
So obviously, I don't know why there's a leaf up here. Insulation, okay. If you want to clean this out, you can. There's a bunch of dirt in there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Install, you want to hook these tabs in. Install, this one's going to be a little tighter because it probably fits nicer. Okay, once those tabs are in on this back side, then you can just start popping this in. Yeah, this one's a little stiffer than the other one, than the stock one. It's just a little, you got to work it a little more. Nothing crazy, but it clicks in just as nice. All right, these are tighter. They do clip in. There are a lot more, the tolerance is way tighter on these, but they do fit. But
that's
really
good.
Well.
So
they fit really well. You'll see. You might fight with this tab back here. This plastic tab actually has to go inside the lip, so you kind of fight with the inside of the lip trying to get these seat. But they're not too bad once you get them. Once you get these first two in, you're good.
So again, the difference is actually quite insane, and also this one's going to be see-through. It's not see-through currently, so that's going to be a big difference too. So this is what the crash bar looks like wrapped. As you can tell, it basically perfectly matches the grill. That's gonna look sick. So now we're just gonna do the reverse of what we did before. Put on all of the clips and then lift up the bumper.
Yeah. So we're gonna put on all the sensors, and then what we're gonna do, since our camera is oriented the wrong way, not Cap's fault, it's just I think it's just the early B9s. We're gonna hook this up. I'm gonna loosen this and then click it in to connect it, and then snug these screws down, and it fits almost perfect at that point. Yes, because we just use the factory
alignment.
Yeah, the factory housing. So that's just how it is on this one. Your guys' probably won't be like that, but there is an option if it doesn't fit. So there's not like you can be kind of out of luck with it. So yeah, just leave this loose, and then obviously once you get it hooked up, I did pop this off because it was clipped up here, just to give me some more room so we're not juggling with it.
Yeah, especially if you're alone, you'll want to do that so you are not having to hold this whole thing and clip that in.
So what I did, once you get it started, I do have my hand on the front of the camera. I'm pushing back on it. I have these just loose, they're still holding on. And then once this clicks in, yep it clicked in there. It. So then what I'm gonna do is just snug these down. You don't gotta go crazy, they are plastic threads, so you just wanna go snug. That one, I don't have to move. So that's tight, and you can see it fits like literally perfect.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it fits there perfect. So that's the way you can do that without having to, if it doesn't fit. I didn't want to risk running the other way and flipping the orientation over, and then your front camera's upside down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can or not, but we'll find out. I mean, well, I guess we won't, but if you're working by yourself, get this lined up in here, and then run these two just hand tight, because then you can still modulate the bottom without fumbling with the whole bumper. Then you can do one set at a time, get them all clipped in, and then make sure everything's lined up. These long ones that go down into here, kind of a pain. Just tape them on. Don't go like super crazy, just so you don't drop it. And then when you pull it off, it'll stay on the tape. So the angle on this, once you get it started up in here, you have to drop to this other side, because the angle keeps kicking the torque spit off, and then you just never get it tight. So yeah, once you get that on the other side of the line, you can tighten it up really easy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see how it's just perfectly straight.
Yeah, it's that perfect angle. Because if you try to stay on the left side of that line,
you'll be walking.
It keeps popping off, and then you end up rounding it off, and then you just can't get it off.
Yep. Definitely just take your time with stuff like this, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not bad. If you got two extensions, you're good.
So now that we have the whole grill on, the fog bezels, we're going to go ahead and put on the fog bezel canards that are actually carbon fiber. So right now he was just test fitting it to see how it's going to kind of line up, and then we're going to throw some 3M tape on it. Should be pretty simple.
So determining how we're going to mount this, essentially we're going to pre-fit it and see where it connects with the bumper so that it can stick the best, versus like this isn't a perfect piece, this isn't a perfect bumper. So we got to figure out where it wants to have tape. All right, this is what we decided to do. I left this section here bare because I think it's going to be a little too tight around that vent here. So I left this blank. It's going to have plenty of stick on it. It'll be fine. So you pretty much one and done it. So you got to make sure you test fit about 87 times and you know where it's going to go. So I'm going to start from this bottom section because it has this body line here, and it should wrap around pretty easily.
Like a glove.
Like a glove. And now you want to hold some good pressure on this to really let that tape set So you'll see me kind of pushing on the bumper pretty hard. Just trying to get it to set in there just right.
Oh yeah, don't forget to press that bottom piece down too, because
right
that's
here.
also important.
Right here.
Perfect. Dude, that looks sick. That side versus this side, oh my god, this side looks so bare now. That is crazy.
She's on there.
Nice. Yeah, dude, the step back, it's a bigger difference than you guys would think. So just like that, the whole front bumper is back on. We've got the grille on, we've got the fog bezels, and we've got the canards. And let me just say, this thing looks absolutely sick now. This is such an improvement over all of the stock parts. One thing that I will change next time I have the bumper off is changing out this emblem for the stock chrome one. But for now, this will work. So again, huge thank you to Canadian Auto Performance. If you guys want any of these parts, you guys can use code FREEWAY to get 5% off of anything on their site. We obviously have this whole front end, and we also have a wing on the back here from them with more to come. So if you guys did enjoy this install guide, definitely drop a like, drop a comment on what helped you the most and what else you want to see put on this car from them, and make sure that you subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next one.